Good evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Nadun Sirivardhana. Let's have a look at the headlines. Catastrophic floods and landslides impact all 25 districts. Parliamentary tensions flare as opposition leaves emergency session. News in detail. The scale of the disaster caused by the severe weather across Sri Lanka has now become starkly clear, with over 1.1 million people now affected nationwide. According to the Disaster Management Centre report released at 10 am, the death toll has risen to 355, with 366 people still reported missing. The report compiled this morning shows that 318,252 families across 25 districts have been impacted by floods and landslides. Currently, 209,568 people are being sheltered in 1,529 safety centres. The district of Colombo and Gampaha are the worst affected, with over 218,000 and 218,000 people impacted respectively. Other severely hit areas include Puttalam, Mana and Trincomalee. Rescue and relief operations continue on a massive scale as authorities work to provide essential supplies and medical assistance to displaced communities while searching for the missing. Now, the ruling party's decision of discussing over the tragic situation which the country has faced up to 12:30 pm today was not heeded by the main opposition Samagi Jana Balavegiya and left the sessions. However, Jaffna district parliamentarian Gajendra Kumar Ponnambalan, who spoke after the SJB's leaving out, clarified the incident.
At the party leaders meeting, you would recall, at the party leaders meeting, the request was made whether the vote on the 5th can be postponed if necessary, but to discuss the current situation, tragic situation that has faced the country, particularly with regards to taking policy decisions, that Parliament must convene and must discuss the current situation. And we ask the government to consider today, tomorrow and actually for 3 days whether we can have these discussions with regards to the current situation. The government said that they cannot postpone the vote on the 5th. And I, as my party leader, I agreed, and the opposition jointly also agreed that the vote will be taken on the 5th if the government insists that it has to be taken on the 5th, and we will do it without a debate. But we asked the government that the current prevailing situation be discussed in Parliament today and tomorrow, at the very least for the whole of today, because there are serious shortcomings with regards to the way in which things were handled.
Now, the Leader of the House, Minister Bimal Ratnayaka, intervening in the situation, said that the opposition should play its role, joining in the national task shouldered by the government and not seeking petty political advantages. Minister Ratnayaka also announced that the emergency law will be made applicable to support the ongoing rescue missions and restoring the general public's lifestyle back to normal.
අපි 27 සහ 28 දවස් දෙකේදී ගරු කතානායකතුමනි අපි ලංකාවේ ආපදා කළමනාකරණ කමිටු සියල්ලම කැඳෙව්වා 25ම කැඳෙව්වා සමහර එක අවස්ථාවකට වඩා කැඳෙව්වා ඊට පස්සේ ප්‍රාදේශීය සම්බන්ධීකරණ ප්‍රාදේශීය සම්බන්ධීකරණ ආපදා කළමනාකරණ කමිටුත් කැඳෙව්වා ඒවා පමණ අපි දන්නවා කමිටු කැඳෙව්වටම වැඩ වෙන්නේ නැහැ අපි ඊට පස්සේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ මැදිහත් වීමෙන් ගරු අගමැතිතුමිය සහ විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා ඇතුළු පක්ෂ නායකයන් ඉන්න මන්ත්‍රීවරුන් සිටින National Disaster Management Council කැඳෙව්වා. ඊට පස්සේ විපක්ෂීය පක්ෂ නායකයන් කැඳෙව්වා. ඒකට විපක්ෂීය පක්ෂ නායකයන් සියලු දෙනාම සම්බන්ධ වුණා. එතනදී ඔවුන් වැදගත් සාධනීය යෝජනා ඉදිරිපත් කරා. ඒත් එකක් තමයි හදිසි නීතිය පනවලා මේ තත්ත්වයට මුහුණ දෙන්න කියලා. ඉතින් අපි ඒක අනුව තමයි ජනාධිපතිතුමා කියුවා අපි හදිසි නීතිය පනවලා තිබෙනවා. මේ ආපදා කළමනාකරණයට පමණක් කිසිම ආකාරයකින් ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී අයිතිවාසිකම් වලට වෙන දෙයකට යොදා ගන්න නැහැ කියන.
Stay tuned, we will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back. The Colombo Consumer Price Index has shown stability with headline inflation remaining at 2.1% in November. According to the latest data from the Department of Census and Statistics, both food and non-food inflation rates showed minor adjustments compared to the previous month. The overall index decreased marginally to 193.4 points in November from 193.8 points in October, with food prices contributing a negative 0.18% change and non-food items contributing a negative 0.05% change. Food inflation moderated 3% from the 3.5% in October, while non-food inflation edged down to 1% from 1.4%. The core inflation index, which excluded volatile items, also saw a slight decrease. The data indicates that the general price level in Colombo urban areas has increased by 93.4% since the base year of 2021, reflecting a cumulative price adjustment over the past 4 years. Now, Sri Lanka's construction sector has continued its expansion in October, according to the latest Purchasing Managers Index data. The sector recorded a value of 64.3, indicating sustained positive momentum following last month's peak performance. The high reading reflects continued confidence among construction firms, driven by an increase in government-funded projects. The new orders, employment and quantity of purchases indices all showed expansion during October, though at a slower rate than the previous month. Many respondents reported steady project pipelines during business activities. The sector outlook for the next 3 months remained positive, with firms anticipating continued project flow despite ongoing challenges with lengthened supplier delivery times. Now, Sri Lanka's external sector has recorded a current account deficit for the second consecutive month in October, according to the latest Central Bank data. The deficit was driven by a notable increase in imports, particularly vehicle purchases, though cumulative performance for the year remains positive. The merchandise trade deficit widened significantly in October, with vehicle imports totaling $261 million for the month. Despite the monthly setback, the cumulative current account for the first 10 months of the year shows a surplus of approximately $1.7 billion. Workers' remittance recorded their strongest monthly inflow since December 2020, contributing to a 20.1% year-on-year growth for the 10-month period. Tourism earnings showed moderate growth for 4.9% year-on-year, while gross official reserves remained stable at around $6.2 billion, including the China swap facility. Foreign investments in government securities continued to record net inflows, though the Colombo Stock Exchange experienced net outflows during October. Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The all share price index dropped by 690.76 points to close at 22,022.06. The S&P SL20 dropped by 181.16 points to close at 6,085.87. The turnover was over 5.2 billion rupees and over 236 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.